Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Have you ever been in a situation where you're speaking to someone and all of a sudden a feeling of sadness just kind of hits you? Or maybe you've been talking to someone and they're saying something and you don't know why all of a sudden you're feeling just this feeling of anger, this feeling of dis-ease and unease. Whether you know it or not, those are times that you are experiencing being triggered. Now, let's talk about 3 ways to avoid being triggered. Step number 1, learn what situations cause you to be triggered. Once you begin to identify which situations cause you to be triggered, it makes it much easier for you to not avoid those situations because life is life and there's no way you can control the external. What you can do, however, is learn the pattern of certain situations and certain environments that contribute to you feeling triggered. Step number 2, identify where you begin to feel triggered in your body. How does it show up? What is the first domino effect that takes place in your body? And then after that, you know what happens next. Do you feel it somewhere in your chest, for example? Do you feel it in the form of a tightening under your head, for example? When I talk to my clients about this, it's like a striking revelation with them that I can control this. I don't have to be a victim to this. I don't have to fall for this. So learning where the first feeling begins to evolve, where the first feeling lands in your body, this is your silent, subtle, no pun intended, trigger to let you know that you're beginning to feel triggered. Third tip, have your script ready. When someone is beginning to make you feel triggered, you can't control their external behavior. That's virtually impossible. You can't control your external environment, not all aspects and components anyway. But what you can do is control your internal state, how you respond and how you react. Have an escape plan if it's a certain environment or a certain situation. Set the timer on your phone or on your watch, for example. Do you know that maybe you can only stand when you are sitting in a certain situation for no longer than 10 minutes? And set the timer on your phone. Let's use the technology that we have at our disposal. Set it for 5 or 10 minutes. And this way, when it goes off, you can scan your environment and scan your internal state, how you feel inside, and determine, do I still feel safe to stay here in this environment? If not, you can begin to start making plans to depart. Have your verbal script ready. If the situations that you often find triggering suddenly just come upon you, if you're using the first steps that I recommended, then you can begin to start readying yourself to say whatever mental script it is that you want to say, to gently and politely excuse yourself. You don't have to go into telling the person that you are making me feel triggered and therefore you need to stop. Because actually, as soon as you do that, the alarm bells begin and you may not get the reaction that you're hoping for. Like I said before, you can't control your external environment. All you can do is control your internal state. So, have 1 or 2 questions, perhaps, to ask the person. Maybe, just maybe, this will buy you some time to be able to understand what the person is truly saying. And it gives you opportunity for clarification and the opportunity to prevent misinterpretation. For example, if someone is saying something to you and you're beginning to feel that chain reaction evolve, or you're beginning to feel triggered, a tightness in your head, a dull ache in your chest, a slight twinge of pain in your back, that's okay. You now know what your first internal response is to let you know that you're not feeling comfortable, you're not feeling safe. When you're having a conversation with someone and this chain reaction begins, maybe ask them if they're saying something that you're finding to be triggering, annoying, just borderline not what you need to hear at this moment in time, repeat back to them what you heard them say and share with them that, okay, what I'm hearing you say is fill in the blank. Am I understanding this correctly? Another thing that you can say is repeat back to them what you heard them say and then share with them, okay, from what I'm understanding, what you mean to say or what you're trying to communicate to me or what you think needs to happen next is fill in the blank. You see, when you take this approach, it gives you the opportunity to be able to, not only by repeating what they said back to you, give you an opportunity to think about what your next response is going to be if you're finding your mind whirling. But it also gives them an opportunity to focus on you and your reaction and the next set of words that are going to come out of your mouth. And it fosters a better communication because when people feel heard, it does elevate and increase a certain level of feeling of trust and feeling of safety. That's precisely what you want for both of you and all parties involved, because when you foster a more open sense of communication, with vulnerability being reduced, the next thing you know, you can honestly have a good, progressive conversation. And that's what you want. Neither party wants to feel too openly vulnerable. It makes them feel a wee bit unsafe. But everyone wants to feel heard and understood. All right, thanks for listening to the Dr. Grant Show. We are on Sundays and Thursdays. Stay tuned for the next episode. And if what I shared with you sounds good and you'd like some additional help with that, feel free to join our wait list where we will be launching a specialized program just for people that often find themselves feeling triggered and they want to take more control of their lives. And they know that once they get the solution, everything's going to change. Bye.